The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Friday, March 19th. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. Joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, how you doing today?
Hey, doing great, buddy. It is Friday, feeling good, feeling pumped up, ready for the weekend, buddy. How about you?
You know, ready for the weekend as well. I'm actually headed down to go see my boys in Southern California. Many of the businesses down there are actually open, so we can eat inside a restaurant. We can go to the movies. We can do things that I wasn't able to do before, but definitely going to be so happy to see them and hang out with them over the weekend.
That's going to be awesome, man. Do you have, are you going to go walk like downtown Disney, anything like that?
We're going to go to the movies, and then I think what I'm going to do either Saturday or Sunday is take them up to Hollywood to the Funko headquarters and see if we can do a Funko Pop of ourselves, basically for me and the boys. So hopefully they're open, hopefully they're taking reservations, and that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, keep me posted on how that goes. That sounds awesome.
Absolutely. Well, folks, let's go ahead and kick things off the way we do each and every day with a question from my co-host. Tony, if you were saving up for a down payment on a new car, how would you go about getting the money to do so?
I'd work the corners, I'd spread myself out a bit, do a little here, do a little there. No. Hard work, buddy. You save your money. Hard work. That's the correct way to do it. But I got a feeling, knowing your stories, we're about to go down a dark and seedy path. So let's roll.
You know me so well. Yeah, some people just don't do it the right way. For instance, out of Lubbock County, Texas, prosecutors said he drove a vehicle loaned to him by a car dealership to rob a bank in Texas and brought the money back to try and use a down payment on a BMW. Now Eric Dion Warren is headed to prison. Warren, who pleaded guilty to bank robbery, has been sentenced to 20 years in federal prison. According to court documents, it was during the summer of 2019 when Warren went into a bank in Wolfworth, Texas, and walked up to a teller. The 50-year-old then put a bag from a fast food restaurant and a note on the counter. The note read, "This is an effing robbery. Play with me and die. I want $10,000 in $50 and $100 bills. Now you got 1 minute or I will kill you." After showing the teller the note, Warren pulled out what looked like a handgun and said, "I ain't playing around. I only want 100s and 50s. The teller gave Warren money from her drawer, including stacks of $20 bills with recorded serial numbers. Warren later admitted that after getting the cash, he drove away in a vehicle that had been loaned to him by a car dealership. He had been there earlier and was in the process of finalizing the sale of a BMW. Officials say it was about 15 minutes after the robbery when Warren went back to the dealership in the loaned vehicle and began waving around cash, literally. He eventually went into the finance office and tried to finalize the purchase of the BMW with a $3,000 cash down payment. Things began to fall apart for the robber when an employee at the dealership got a call informing him about the recent bank robbery, all while Warren was still there. The employee called police after realizing the description of the vehicle used in the robbery matched the one loaned to Warren. When Warren was arrested, he had more than $5,000 with him, and their serial numbers matched those stolen from the bank. Police also found a painted pellet gun resembling a real handgun when they arrested Warren. So essentially what he did was he borrowed a car from the BMW dealership, took it to go rob a bank for the down payment for that car, brought it back, tried to make the down payment. And obviously it didn't work out for him, but how dumb can you be?
What an idiot. Just stupid. Absolutely stupid.
It takes all kinds, and of course, without stories like this, we wouldn't be able to kick off the show.
This is true, And that guy, good luck in jail, you idiot.
No!
You're just not bright. Not bright at all.
No, not bright at all. What is bright is today's show. It is a Friday. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
We're looking forward to the weekend, but not before we bring you good news, everyone.
Good news!
We have a segment called Bad Plot Descriptions. Our call-in topic today is Proud Pet Parent. The G-Man is joining us back with G-Man's matchups. We're taking a look at the NCAA March Madness. We round out the day with This Day in History, and Tony is up next with the entertainment news. Folks, do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter, Brooklyn, was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. And we've got a little thing we talk about each day. It is the Fenix Line, our 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. Maybe you stole a car, to go rob a bank, to go buy that car. We want to know about it. Give us a call on the Fenix line at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RADIO or 855-336-4973. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, it is the second segment of this show. That means Tony's here with the entertainment news.
Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, March 19th, and here's your Filippo Fast 5 plus 1 bonus. Woo!
I jumped the gun there.
Yeah, you're all good, man. Since G-Man's on the show later today, this is just going to be a real sports-centric entertainment Fast 5 plus 1. Right. Bills and wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders reached an agreement on a one-year, $6 million deal that includes $500,000 in incentives. So Emmanuel Sanders, Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, Josh Allen, the Bills offense, red hot, man. Red hot.
They're going to be tough next season.
Speaking of red hot, the New England Patriots are just spending, and they strike again as the Patriots are signing former Chargers tight end Hunter Henry to a 3-year, $37.5 million deal, including $25 million guaranteed. Free agencies, top 2 tight ends, both Henry and Jonnu Smith, both wind up in New England. Who's laughing now? Former Cowboys quarterback and Bengals quarterback Andy Dalton is signing a 1-year, $10 million deal with the Chicago Bears with a chance to earn $3 million in incentives. Bears fans are pissed because they're now collectively out of the Deshaun Watson talks, and the trades for Russell Wilson fell through. So that sucks. But what doesn't suck is our Denver Broncos have picked up the option for Von Miller, so we get him for another season. So number 58 coming back to wreak havoc. He's healthy. Hopefully him and Chubb can cause a lot of havoc this year. Be fun to watch.
Yep.
And then 49ers fans will be happy to know that Trent Williams has signed a 6-year, $138.6 million contract. Massive deal. Trent Williams staying in San Francisco. That's all your free agency sports-related entertainment news. Now, let's see what we've really got in the entertainment world of things, shall we?
All right.
So we'll go over to a little movie news at first, and this movie news has a little something to do with Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. So over the past few years, Disney has gone to some impressive lengths to bring its iconic stories to a new generation, utilizing live-action animation or a combination of the two to remake some of its classic properties. Among the ever-growing list is set to be Chippendale Rescue Rangers, which will be a live-action animated hybrid film that will provide a new take on the iconic chipmunk duo. Ever since Disney Plus film was officially announced at the Disney Investor Day last year, along with its unexpected all-star cast and crew, fans have been excited to see how the project will take shape, and it looks like we're one step closer to that. On Tuesday, a social media post from The Lonely Island, which is the comedy group of Saturday Night Live alums Andy Samberg, Jorma Taccone, and Akiva Schaffer, revealed that their filming of the project has officially begun. The Lonely Island, whose previous big screen ventures include Pop Star, Never Stop Stopping, and Hot Rod, both very funny movies, by the way, are involved with Chippendale Rescue Rangers reboot in front of and behind the camera. Samberg is set to voice Dale in the film, with fellow SNL alum and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse star John Mulaney voicing Chip. Schaefer, whose directing credits also includes Pop Star and I Think You Should Lead with Tim Robinson, will be helming the film. Chippendale Rescue Rangers will be written by Dan McGregor and Doug Mann, with Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Larry Fong serving as cinematographer. Are you excited to see the new take on Chippendale Rescue Rangers? Share your thoughts with us below, Phoenix fans, in the comments, and let us know. Kristian, is this something that you this appeals to you maybe with who's involved?
Well, yeah. So being the fact that it's Disney, there's one thing, the fear is that it'll turn into like a Tom and Jerry, the movie that's out right now and not be all that great. But with the Lonely Island involved, it's going to be hilarious. I mean, John Mulaney, Andy Samberg, they're all hilarious. I can't wait to see what they put out.
Oh, I think it's going to be good. You got Andy Samberg in it. It sounds good. I like when I read the article and I saw Batman v Superman, I'm like, uh-oh. But if it's the cinematographer, that's fine, because the cinematography in that piece of crud movie actually was good. So, so I think this will be fun and entertaining, and it's got to beat Tom and Jerry, right? Like, I actually like Chip and Dale. I never liked Tom and Jerry, ever.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's Disney. You know, Disney rarely misses a step.
Rarely. So that'll be good. I look forward to it. Now, we do have to wait till 2022, but hey, at least it's being filmed, which means we're one step closer in the direction of getting new movies, original content, all that good stuff. So look forward to that. Now, also in movie news, this is not 100% confirmed, but Rob Zombie has always been open about the fact that he's a huge fan of classic sitcom The Munsters. He's written songs inspired about the show, and he said he's watched every episode of the series at least 17 times. He even recorded a Blu-ray commentary to the film Munster, Go Home, with cast member Butch Patrick. And yet, I would still be shocked if Universal entrusted Zombie to write and direct a new feature film of the Munsters. Well, according to that, that's just what might be happening. So, as it's rumored, according to Murphy's Multiverse, Zombie regulars Jeff Daniel Phillips and Sherry Moon Zombie have been cast as Herman and Lily Munster, and they'll be joined by
Sherry Moon Zombie in a movie directed by Rob Zombie? I'm shocked.
You should be shocked. She's such a great actress, right? They'll be joined by the cast of Daniel Roebuck, Jorge Garcia, Richard Brake, and Cassandra Elvira Peterson. Filming is supposedly going to begin in Budapest, Hungary in May. You got the right person for the job for this. Munsters coming back. What say you?
You know, we know he can direct horror films. He's got that under his belt. He does very well with those. But can he do a comedy? I don't know. I guess we'll see.
We'll find out. I think with the flavor, if the fact that he's seen each thing 17 times, he knows the source material. I mean, he wrote Dracula based off Grandpa Munster's car, right? Like, that was their thing.
Exactly. And
they even were in the video. Like, it didn't have, like, I don't know who the Frankenstein character was, but it was, like, in Dracula, it just kept showing the car spinning out, and he was freaking out in the back. Yeah.
Still, though, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, he knows the source material, but you know what? I will reserve judgment. I was never a big Munsters fan growing up. I was more Addams Family, but we will see.
We shall see. Have you listened, on a side note, did you listen to his new album, the something Kool-Aid Man, whatever the album's called? I just know it has Kool-Aid in it.
I haven't yet. In fact, I was waiting for my drive down to California to listen to it.
California, you're going to listen to Rob Zombie, you get to the back of Dracula.
Exactly.
Oh, all right. Hey, were you a Toys R Us kid growing up?
Oh, mommy, wow.
Well, guess what? Toys R Us is back again for the third time. Toys R Us is looking to mount another comeback. The retail chain is planning to open stores in North America under the new ownership of WHP Global, a New York-based brand management company. WHP announced Monday in a press release that it has acquired the controlling interest in True Kids, the parent company of Toys R Us, Babies R Us, and Jeffrey the Giraffe brands. We're in the brand business, and Toys R Us is the single most credible, trusted, and beloved toy brand in the world. WHP Chairman and CEO Yehida Shidman said, "We're coming off a year where toys are just on fire, and for Toys R Us, the U.S. is really a blank canvas." Shidman, his name's hard to say. Shidman laid out a plan for Toys R Us stores to reopen in North America sometime ahead of the coming holiday season. These locations could take form of flagships, pop-up, airport shops, or mini stores within other retailers, according to the company's early plans. Toys R Us closed 700 final stores in North America in June 2018, 9 months after it filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Together, their presence had diminished domestically. Toys R Us and Babies R Us together still have 900 branded stores across 25 countries worldwide. WHP said the Toys R Us brand generates more than $2 billion in retail sales since the retailer's original closures. The company launched 2 pop-up locations in Houston, Texas, and Paramount, New Jersey during the holiday season in 2019. The stores, yeah, that's a word. The stores were intended to reinvent the retailer's brand, offering more floor space to allow consumers to test products hand-on. Both locations shuttered as a result of bad foot traffic. A problem was right before the COVID-19 pandemic. So let us know below if you're excited about Toys R Us. Kristian, is this something you think will be successful? Should they do a full-blown thing? And what do you think?
You know, I was thinking about this. I saw that news article yesterday, and they need to make sure they don't fail in the same way the last two attempts have. Don't make it just a flat-out generic toy store. Give it a niche. Make it like a collector's store. So, You've got the new toys that come out, but then you've got like the high-end collectibles or the things that people are seeking out, or older retro toys, things along those lines that, really the older toy collector will go after. And, of course, they bring their kids along with them. If that's what they're going to do, I could see it succeeding. If not, then, it may go the way of Blockbuster.
Absolutely. I feel the same way. Got to have those special collector's toys. Make it a destination stop. Don't oversaturate and be price competitive. Video games, make them about the price of Walmart, and you're in good shape. So
exactly.
All right. Well, that's it for your entertainment news today. Let's roll on to the birthday, shall we?
It's my birthday!
Yeah, it's some famous-ass birthdays today. Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon, John, Harry, I'm never aging Stamper McLean, a.k.a. Bruce Willis. He's not seeing dead people. He's 65. He looks the same, man.
Yeah, he does.
All-star MLB pitcher who won the 2011, 2013, 2014 National Cy Young Awards, 2014 NL MVP Award with the Los Angeles Dodgers, and he helped the Dodgers win the World Series. Clayton Kershaw is 32. This birthday girl has been nominated for 7 Academy Awards, but has never won. Maybe that's what caused her to become a Cruella and go all Fatal Attraction on Michael Douglas. Glenn Close is 73. Longtime head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, who led the team to 5 NFC championship games, 1 Super Bowl, where he lost to the Tom Brady and the Patriots. He became head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs in 2013, won his first Super Bowl. And then as the Chiefs defeated the Niners in Super Bowl 54, only to lose in Super Bowl 55 to Tom Brady and the Bucks, Mr. Andy Reid is 62. 2 special shout-out birthdays. My buddy Dave Henrock Henriquez, the guitarist formerly of Our Cast and now of a band called Hand of the Tribe. It's his birthday today. And then the man, the myth, the legend, our buddy Denny Shipley. His birthday is Sunday, but we don't air on Sunday. So happy birthday. That's your celebrity and local celebrity birthdays. Happy birthday.
Right on. Well, that does it for the entertainment news. When we come back, it is time for good news, everyone.
Ooh.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Dear John, I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is serious, and I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to when you checked on me? I don't want to leave, but remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart and don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range today. For help keeping yours at a healthy range, text PRESSURE to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take 1.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman!
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect.
She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. And many of you are watching us as we speak on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. We're all over social media, and you can get a hold of me on social at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Phoenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R, or on Instagram and Twitter at Phoenix Media Radio. Tony's available at facebook.com/Tony.Sanfilippo. That's SANFILIPPO.94, or on Instagram at Tony.Sanfilippo81. Now, being that it's Friday and there's so much negativity and bad news and vitriol out there that we like to turn the tables a little bit, take you into the weekend on an up note with a segment we like to call
Good News, everyone!
So I'll go ahead and start off with my good news story. Every morning when Steve Nava went to work, he'd see someone sleeping in their car in a parking lot. It would be a few weeks before he learned he knew the man. I noticed that he had all of his belongings in his car, and that's when I realized he was homeless, Nava told NBC Los Angeles, an affiliate in Southern California. He also realized the man was his former substitute high school teacher, Jose Villarruel, also known as Mr. V. Villarruel stopped working once the schools went to virtual sessions last year and has since experienced housing insecurity. Once Nava spoke to Villarruel and realized the connection, he helped his former teacher find a hotel and gave him $300. I had a mission to help the teacher who was going through a difficult time during the pandemic, he said. Nava added, I spoke to Mr. V, and he told me that the only source of income was a monthly Social Security check, and that most of the money was sent to his wife, who is very ill in Mexico. When rough weather would pass by, Villarruel would tell himself, I must not give up. I have to go on and do what I have to do for this stage to pass. But Nava wasn't done yet with getting his former teacher through this trying time. He then took to Twitter to ask his community for help. He also started a GoFundMe. Mr. V was a great, funny, and helpful educator and substitute teacher in the Fontana Unified School District, Nava wrote. He struggled with getting back on his feet after the pandemic hit and has been living in his car ever since, despite the brutal weather and living conditions. This fundraiser is to help him out financially and to get him back to normal life. Responses and support flooded Nava's Twitter feed, with some saying they remembered Villarruel very fondly. Others applauded Nava for his effort. Thank you being such a hero in our community and looking out for those that need our help, wrote Claudia Gonzalez. You are a fine example of what it means to unselfishly look out for those in need and support and for a bit of humanity. The GoFundMe has raised over $27,000 so far, surpassing Nava's original goal of $15,000. On Villarruel's 77th birthday this week, Nava gathered former students to celebrate with their former teacher. I want him to feel that he's cared and loved by all those who he had helped along the years, Nava wrote on Twitter. At the party, Villarreal was presented with a $27,000 check. Villarreal's response, "Am I dreaming? It is an experience of my life that will be kept for the rest of my life. I carry it in my heart," he said. "I felt that something was going to happen, that things were going to change, and it happened suddenly when I least expected it. I tell the students when they have a project, keep going despite the difficulties. Don't give up. Do not give up. Do not quit." What a lovely, inspiring story for not even just a former teacher, a former substitute teacher who apparently had a big enough impact on, this guy's life that, not only was he willing to give him money out of his own pocket, but to go as far as, starting a GoFundMe campaign and reaching out to the community on Twitter, raising $27,000 to get him back on his feet is something I would certainly consider.
Good news, everyone.
That's very good news there, Kristian. Mine's just kind of a random story, but it is a good story. And it's a brave Navy sailor recently plunged into choppy waters to rescue kittens from a burning ship off the coast of Thailand. 23-year-old Thatsfon Sali received the emergency call and dove into the water while still wearing his pants to swim over to the wreckage. All 8 crew members were already escaped. They had already escaped the inferno and been picked up by a passing fishing boat. However, 4 terrified kittens, 4 little kittens, are you kidding me? Were left behind. They moved to the bow and were left clinging to the crane structure as the flames rapidly engulfed the ship. Heroic Thatsfon swam 50 feet through rough seas before he climbed aboard the sinking ship and put 3 cats into an old rice sack. The other kitten he carried was on his shoulder, and the cat looks frightened. It's like holding his ear. It's like, and he's like, he's just like, yes, this is great. The sailor emerged from the trembling moguls and paddled with them in his arms and back to the Navy vessel. The kittens were dehydrated and given fresh water while they recovered on board. The boat, an old fishing vessel, was left to burn and sink into the depths near the island of Koh Adang. Thatsfon, who's part of Royal Thai Navy's Air and Coastal Defense Command Operation Unit 491, said, "When we arrived, it was to secure the wreckage and check for oil spills, but we noticed the cats on board. I immediately took off my shirt and put on a life jacket so I could jump into the sea. The flames were at the back of the boat, but it was starting to sink, so I knew I had to be quick. I'm so relieved that we were able to save the kittens. They would have drowned or died of thirst if they went into the sea. All 4 kittens are now fully recovered from their adventure on the high seas, with Navy officials currently looking after the little cats at their office." So, just awesome deal there, man. This picture just shows this ship sinking and these 4 cats perched up. And the fact that he didn't even hesitate to go save them, never mind, like, putting the cats in a sack. You had to figure, like, these cats would claw at them or, what the heck's going on. But, or even the one cat he put on his shoulder is just impressive. But this guy didn't blink. He just went in, saved them. And, those cats hopefully will find nice homes. But I think, that's just awesome. It's very humane of, good human there. Just
exactly.
Very selfless, doesn't matter.
Yeah, very sweet story. I mean, anybody who goes out of their way to help, animals in need, I certainly have a soft spot for running a dog rescue nonprofit. What more could you ask for from a human being? I'd certainly say that qualifies for
good news, everyone.
All right, folks. Well, we are headed into our break. When we come back, we've got a segment called Bad Plot Descriptions. It's a little game I'll be playing with Tony over there, so don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see, every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. We are back, folks, to the final segment of the first hour of this episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. But do not fret, there is still plenty ahead with our second hour, including the G-Man joining us for his matchups, taking a look at the NCAA March Madness. Now, if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, about 20 in all. While you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review, let us know what you think, and tell your friends because sharing is caring. Now, in the segment that I've titled Bad Plot Details, we're going to play a little game with Tony. I'm going to give Tony the bad plot description, and you're going to try and guess the movie based on that bad plot description.
Ooh, I like it.
All right. And they're all popular movies. They could be live action. They could be animated. So it runs the gamut, but they are popular. So it's not going to be, obscure movies. Okay. So let's go ahead and start off with this first description. See if Tony can get close. It says, rich kid leaves home due to an abusive uncle, gets adopted by nihilistic gay couple.
Repeat it one more time.
Rich kid leaves home due to abusive uncle, gets adopted by nihilistic gay couple.
It's not it, but I'm thinking Harry Potter because Harry's uncle was such a dick. And then he left and then he just went off, he just moved off to the Wizards, but I don't know.
Well, it's a good guess. We were looking for The Lion King. And if you think about it, it makes sense. So left home because of his Uncle Scar. Adopted Timon and Pumbaa, who have a relationship that,
Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase.
Exactly. All right, let's move on with our next bad plot description, see if Tony can figure it out. This one is a little bit of play on words. It is fee-male. I think fee, F-E, dash male.
Female.
I'll give you a hint, Tone. Think the periodic table.
The story of pi, or the element of pi. Wow. The life of pi.
Maybe this will help. Fe on the periodic table is iron.
Iron Man.
There you go.
Gotcha.
All right, let's keep moving on with bad plot descriptions. See if Tony can guess the movie that we're talking about. How about this one? A teenage girl marries a foot fetishist to escape her abusive family.
These are tough, man. Teenage girl marries a foot
fetishist to escape her abusive family.
I don't know. Doesn't make for good radio if you don't guess, ladies and gentlemen, but I don't know.
You can come up with a joke guess, too. In this case, we're looking for Cinderella.
Cinderella, little stupid Cinderella. It's funny when you say it, then it makes sense. These are freaking tough, man.
These are tough. And, if you don't have the pictures to go with them, then it makes it that much tougher.
Yeah,
but
you helped with that. Once you said FE was iron, I was like, oh, Iron Man.
Yep.
Excuse me.
All right, let's keep moving on. Bad plot descriptions. Tony, let's see if you can guess this one. Stylish black guy shows nerd how to spend less time online and get a girlfriend.
Oh. That's Hitch.
You are close, but no cigar.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
And maybe you can guess with this hint. Will Smith, who was the star of Hitch, was supposed to star in this movie franchise, but backed out to star in Wild Wild West.
Oh, crap. What was that? Dang it. I forget. I do. When you say it, I'm going to go, oh, yeah, because that's what I do.
Stylish black guy shows nerd how to spend less time online and get a girlfriend. The Matrix.
Ah, yes. I mean, would he have been as good as Keanu Reeves, though, now that we know what Keanu brought to it? Probably not.
I don't think so.
Wild Wild West was a bad idea, though. Woof.
Yeah.
That movie was pretty bad.
But Will Smith's wife appeared in a couple of the Matrix movies.
Yes, she did.
Yep. All right, let's keep rolling on. We are talking bad plot descriptions. Tony, this one is, again, a play on words, so think about the words very carefully. The description, driver wrecks Ford.
Driver wrecks Ford. The thing that comes to mind is Ford versus Ferrari, but I'm going to say Days of Thunder. No, but that was a Chevy.
No. Think actor names as in Adam Driver wrecks Harrison Ford.
Oh, freaking Rise of Skywalker, but The Force Awakens.
Exactly.
Star Wars Force Awakens.
Yep.
Dang. See, the hint. So I think I need the extra push, the extra hint sometimes, but then I can get it. But gosh, the first thought was like a Ford car crash.
Yep. And that's where, they're having fun with those words. But let's move on with our bad plot descriptions. Here's one along the same lines as the last one. I'm sure you'll figure out this one. A cowboy and his dog and two teens blow up their asthmatic father's office.
That would be the breathing. It's going to be Star Wars.
And which episode?
Oh, which one do they blow up? Probably the Empire's, Return of the Jedi.
You can go with Return of the Jedi, but actually,
or A New Hope.
A New Hope.
Okay, well, that's the one I just called that one Star Wars, but
There
I was
you go.
like, they only blew up the Death Star twice, but New Hope was my original thought. The breathing helped, but that is a good description of it.
All right. Well, let's keep rolling on. We're talking bad plot descriptions, seeing if Tony can guess the movie based on these terrible plot descriptions, but they're fun. This one, again, think very closely about the words and maybe the play on words in this one. The description, Tony, guy's wife dies, so he gets high.
So
maybe
the wife...
literal, maybe figurative.
Oh, man. I'm
And
trying to think of movies.
The key is the beginning. Guy's wife dies, so he gets high.
It's not John Wick, is it? I know the wife, that's the girlfriend and the dog dies. Oh, damn it. I don't know.
Pixar's Up.
Oh, damn it. It's literally wife dies, gets on some balloons.
Yep, gets high, figuratively. All right.
Son of a biscuit.
Let's keep rolling on. Boy, we still have 5 minutes of this segment left, so we're having fun. We're going to keep rolling.
Let's just roll.
Descriptions. Tony, this is your next one. You have yet to get one right. Luckily, we're not playing for any cash or prizes.
No, geez, no, this is terrible. Yeah, it's tough.
All right. Here's your bad plot description, Tony. Everyone tries the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Ice Age. It's Titanic, isn't it?
It is Titanic.
It's Titanic, yeah. You already played the Want, so I don't think that counts, but it's...
You got close. That's the closest you've been so far, so... All right. Let's keep moving on. Bad plot descriptions. Tony, let's see if you can guess. This one is very descriptive and may actually help you out quite a bit. A father is widowed when a serial killer cannibalizes his wife and most of his children. Months later, after losing his last disabled son due to a boating incident at sea, a mentally challenged woman is his only hope to finding him.
What? Oh, man.
And think about the way most of these have gone. You know, it's not literally what you're seeing, but it's takes on the way the words are worded.
Okay. Read that one more time because that's super descriptive.
Yep. A father was widowed when a serial killer cannibalizes his wife and most of his children. Months later, after losing his last disabled son due to a boating incident at sea, a mentally challenged woman is his only hope to finding him. I emphasized a few words there to help you out, too.
Yeah, geez, Louise. Mad Max Fury Road. I don't know. I'm not very good at this game.
Finding Nemo, Tone. Finding Nemo.
Yeah. It makes sense.
All right, let's keep rolling on. Bad plot description. Let's see if Tony can get at least one. Here's your next one, Tone. A man is forced to participate in the rescue of a hostage by the government that has turned his residence into a refugee camp.
Crap. This is bad for radio because I'm not good at this at all. This is all flipping tough to me. Taken.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Man is forced to participate in the rescue of a hostage by the government that has turned his residence into a refugee camp. Play the movie, yeah, play it.
Shrek.
It is Shrek.
Yeah, these are tough. No pictures, no nothing, man. This is not my game.
It's not easy. It is not easy at all. All right, here's another one, and you may have mentioned this movie already, but a creepy old man finally achieves his goal of being able to touch a 14-year-old boy.
Oh, no. Yikes, with stripes. I probably did already say it, but I've said so many dumb movies, I don't know. Say it again?
A creepy old man finally achieves his goal of being able to touch a 14-year-old boy.
Oh, I don't know. Taken. I have no idea, man. I have no idea.
Harry Potter, the creepy old man is Voldemort.
Oh, there you go.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. There you go.
All right. And then finally, let's make this one our last one. Older sister ruins younger sister's chances of appearing on television.
Popular movie. Older sister ruins younger sister's plans. It's not Cinderella. We've already done that.
Not plans, but chances of appearing on television.
Ruin everything.
Think older sister, think younger sister, think big spectacle TV.
Got nothing for you, buddy. Sorry.
Oh, Hunger Games, Tony. We were looking for Hunger Games. If you were playing for cash and prizes,
I wouldn't have won.
Nothing.
I even dropped an F-bomb for you. Sorry that. That's
it happened. Well, folks, that does it for this first hour of this episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. Go ahead and enjoy your long break. About 7 minutes. Listen to the news, grab some tea, use a potty break, or just yell at Tony in the comments section.
Potty mouth, yeah. Not my game. I would prefer never to play that again.
Exactly. That does it, folks. We will see you after the break.
7.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother! We can do this together!
All right, let's go!
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know!
I know!
You don't! Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No!
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this!
You will rock this!
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
We had no idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was
the
fine.
most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Welcome back, folks, to the second hour of this episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is March 19th. It's a Friday. Boy.
March. Did you have a brain fart? March 19th. It's Friday. We're back from the long 7-minute break.
Had a total brain
Your
fart.
brain just shut down. That's a first. Usually that's me that does that.
It's funny. I've got a bunch of things going on, and usually I'm pretty good at juggling those, but for whatever reason, can't.
That's all right, man. Well, did you have a good 7-minute break?
I did, and what I meant to say is we're your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. I'm still joined by my co-host, Tony Shriver. We're trying out some stage names for Tony. We had Tony.
So far this week, yeah.
I was going to say we had Tony Savage, Tony Spark, and now Tony Shriver trying them on, seeing what worked.
Yesterday was the spark of life. The day before it was the Savage. Today it's the Shriver, a little homage to the street I grew up on. Just kind of said, I am Tony Shriver. Today I'm Tony Shriver with the news.
A little bit easier to spell than San Filippo, and we'll be getting him his own public Facebook page that people can follow along.
So let us know what you think. Did you like, so far this week, did you like Savage? Did you like Spark? Did you like Shriver? We'll try them on. I know we've put out the poll if you've been my friends, but Phoenix fans, this is your opportunity. Like if you're not my actual Facebook friend, to let us know below.
There you go. And this is the interactive portion of the show where we want to hear from you guys, the listeners and watchers, on our topic of the day. Now, we won't be continuing on into the next segment because G-Man's going to be joining us with the NCAA March Madness preview.
No goofball radio stuff today. No asking if you know the behind the scenes of the Bible like yesterday's episode.
Yeah, no stereo roulette today. It is, just us for the most part. What we're talking about today are proud pet parent moments. And we're not talking about a time that you were truly proud of your pet. We're talking about a time that your dog, cat, lizard, bird, whatever it did something ridiculous or hilarious to make you a quote unquote proud pet parent. Now, Tony, I know you've got one that you wanted to share. Why don't you go ahead and get into it?
Yeah, so back when I was married, we had this dog. It was a mix of he was a mutt. I don't really know what kind of dog he was. He was like a brown terrier, some other mix. And his name was Jedi. He was not the brightest dog. I really liked him. He was picture Santa's little helper from The Simpsons. It's pretty much the best way to describe Jedi. Well, we went up to my ex-father-in-law's cabin that he was working for up in Aspen. And we went up there and Jedi, we're fishing off in this private lake, which was just awesome, man. We're hitting fish like crazy because no one else is fishing it. And at Jedi, the dog, he's just like all happy on the little dock. And you know how most dogs stop? They're aware of their surroundings. They're either going to jump full blown into the water, something. Nope, this klutz, he just walks. Boom! He like stumbles over his feet right into the water. Poor guy stumbles right into the cold lake, and he's like, instead of dog pedaling too, he like pops up like a popsicle or pupsicle in this one. And he's like, and it's like, oh boy, that's my dog. That's Jedi. Should have probably not bestowed the Jedi name upon him. Maybe Santa's little helper would have been better fitting, but that is my proud parent pet moment. He was cute, but he was a D for sure.
And it's one of those moments you wish that you were able to record everything that happened at all times, because there was no way of knowing it would have happened, but it would have gone viral if you were able to capture it. But unfortunately, it doesn't go that way.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, Cass and I had a laugh for days. And then Henry, my ex-father-in-law, he's like, that dog is stupid. He just kept saying how stupid he was.
Well, with a couple minutes left in the segment, I know you reached out to a number of our usual Phoenix fans and got a little bit of response as far as the proud pet parent moments go. Go ahead and read those off as well.
Jamie Anna she chimed in, didn't have really any pets, but her and her sister had lizards. And they used to they would just put them on their ears and stuff. And they felt kind of proud, but she didn't really have too many good stories because they weren't allowed to have pets for whatever reason. So can't really go too much like DT moments like Santa's little helper. Mike, he walks in the room every day and he tells his cats how effing stupid they are. Because that's how he is. He's not proud of them. They're just stupid. And I'm not going to disagree with them. They're not the brightest cats in the world. They're nice. But not the brightest.
Yeah. And to be fair.
Sorry, Friday. I know you love them. This is not. Yeah.
I'm not much of a cat person to begin with. I think most of them are assholes anyway. But I love dogs. I love my dogs. But just to close out the segment, we have Goliath who came to us, through the rescue. Exactly. He's a little bit older. He's a senior kitty who is about as dote as it gets. Needless to say, what we need to do with him is we need to make sure that the poop in the backyard is picked up because he doesn't pay attention to where he steps, and there are days when we just track giant piles in with him. It's Goliath. The joys of being a proud pet parent. Well, folks, that does it for the interactive portion of the show. When we come back, G-Man's going to be joining us. We're talking
G-Hizzle back.
March Madness. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter, Brooklyn, was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks, but if you are watching us, you're not seeing Tony's usual face. You're actually seeing the G-Man, who has joined us for another edition of the G-Man's Matchups. Yeah, we talked football when football season was going on, but of course now we're getting into NCAA March Madness. So with that being said, G-Man's here to walk us through betting, the brackets, NCAA March Madness. They went from 64 teams to 68 teams. But real quick, G-Man, give people a breakdown on how betting on the March Madness, the bracket works, at least here in Northern Nevada.
Well, of course, the brackets are, anybody that, knows anything about it knows that there's a seeding, as in any tournament. You have your 1 through 16 ranked teams in 4 different regions. And of course, it's not just who wins or loses the game, but they'll have the point spreads on which team's going to win by how many points. And of course, there are totals, that are the 2 teams' combined scores, and you can bet over or under. And then, of course, money line, which is who's going to win the game. So that one, if you're after the favorite, if on a money line bet, you don't get as much of a return. If somebody's like a, say 2-1 favorite, you're going to get 1 for 2 on your money. And, the team that's the underdog, you'll be able to double your money. That's where the risk is. And so most people gravitate, towards the points because it's closer. The casinos always keep a little vague, but again, that's one of the reasons why I like the in play, because you can get, even money, -105 plus money on point spreads, that you can't get before the game, before tip off, so we talk about that a little bit later.
Exactly. And now a lot of people, they make their picks based on, what team's mascot would beat the other team's mascot, or team colors, which ones they like more. My guess is the way you make your picks is a little bit more educated. If you don't mind walking people through how you go through each matchup and figure out who you're going to bet on and how you set that line.
Yeah, I'd like to think that, there's a couple of different approaches to betting. One is purely analytical, and then the one you spoke of, just like mascots, or this is my team, I always bet on them. And, I think it's a combination of both, over the years, I've been doing this for 30 years now. And, there's a combination of kind of like the eye test and, a little bit of knowing, the records, how strong is the conference, where they're from. So there's a bunch of different things that go into it. But at the end of the day, it's still an educated guess, and that's why, again, the breakdown and the analytics before the game starts and stuff like that, it's all fun. And sometimes you don't have a choice, but, with the in play, you get the best of those worlds where you go into kind of say a predisposition, just like, if I had to bet before tip off, I'm going to bet this, but then you can kind of watch the game and see the way that things unfold, and also gather information. I don't know how many times where, it's kickoff or whatever happens, and then the announcer announces some information that nobody came up with before the game, and you didn't come across it with any of your reading or any of the pundits that talk about it. And just like, man, if I would have known that before the game, I would have bet the other way.
Right.
So there's a little bit, there's just so much, logic. I would say, probably for the new person, unfortunately, I guess you do have to go through kind of like your learning curve. So I wouldn't necessarily just say, hey, go right into in play, however much fun it may be. You kind of got to, almost take some losses and some failures, you know what I mean? So then you kind of think about, I didn't know this, or I didn't factor this in. And, William Hill, definitely download that app, for March Madness. Cause sometimes too, it's not just middles that you can get, but, there's some times where like right away, you're just like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't have made that bet, if I would have known this information, and you can, get your money back. Now don't get middled, yourself. You wouldn't want to say, take a team, -3.5, and then all of a sudden, they're getting, points, there's a middle at the casino. You could lose both bets, and you're just like, oh, what was I thinking? Again, I don't know. I just may have learned that through experience,
Well, and that's the joy about the NCAA March Madness, is it can be everything from just a casual office pool to, before tip-off betting, to what you're doing. You're hunkering down at the Pepper Mill starting, when this show airs, it'll be Friday, so you'll already be there. And you're there for every game, for the in-play. And, I mean, you're hitting it hard.
Yeah, I mean, we literally are living there. We are going to take a little bit of time out Saturday night, probably the last game. We'll make our bets, and then we'll head off over to Victorian Square and Sparks. But outside of that, we have everything that we need. We have a suite, all the food, that we, the restaurants and everything. The Pepper Mill does a great job. And so, we are total. We have like 3 or 4 screens going, at the same time. If anything goes wrong, we'll have our laptops there that we'll be able to tune in, so it's a good 5-day run.
Very cool. Now, I know Warren Buffett does a bracket every year, basically says he'll give away $1 million to whoever perfectly bets the brackets. I don't think anybody's ever won it. Do you know, is he still doing that again this year?
I'm sure that he is, but things like that, it's, it's why they call it madness. It's really what, that explains it right there. He doesn't have to worry about paying out this money, you know, and of course, if he does, he's going to be able to expense it somehow. I'm sure, that guy knows how to do it.
Yeah, and it's nearly impossible to perfectly pick all of the brackets down to the winner. So it's a great promotional tool for him nonetheless. Now, real quick, wanted to talk about, the March Madness used to start with 64 teams. In recent years, they bumped that up to 68. And we're going to see the first 4, which is the first 4 matchups here, which as of the airing of this, they will have already played. When did they start doing that? And any reason why?
Yeah, I think, the reason why was because it started getting to the point to where there was debate about which teams, that were on the bubble, that should have gotten in that didn't. And then I'm sure probably the executives got together and said, hey, why don't we start a couple days early, and let the teams play in, to that 16th spot. And they're not all there's one that they're playing in USC. So they're playing 1 or if not 2 at the 11th spot. No, just that one. And then all the others, they get to basically play in and get slaughtered by the number 1 seed. That's pretty much what happens, But I think, it's just, kind of revenue, ratings,
money,
things like that, get a couple more teams, included. It's kind of interesting because I think there's only like 112 total teams or something like that.
Yeah, and, so you're basically taking about half of that and putting them in the tournament.
Yeah, and the kids, of course, they work hard all year long. It's nice to get some national attention, because especially at these smaller conferences, they're not getting any kind of ESPN broadcast or anything like that, like the bigger schools and the at-large schools, and so. It's fun, especially like I said, those, I can't tell you, just all over the years, how many times where, you see things unfold, especially since this in-play started, and just like, holy moly, these guys were 16-point underdogs before the game and they just come out swinging, and then the big guys down 14 points, and although it's early, and most of the time, like I was telling you, they do come back, they whittle away, but man, sometimes, there's just been some classic games where, once it gets to that 5-minute mark and say that underdog team is still up 5 to 8 points, you're like, whoa, they're really going to do it, and there's nothing like seeing the joy, in somebody that accomplished something that nobody thought that they were going to do, except for the teams in the locker room.
Exactly.
And so it's just a lot of fun. It's great spectator.
Yeah, exhilarating to watch. Now, we've got a couple minutes before we go to our first break. Wanted to break down a couple of the matchups, at least here in the first round. If you could give us our first East-West left side of the bracket matchup, break it down a little bit, and then we'll head to break, come back, and break down some more for you guys.
Did you want to go through these first 4 games that I have picked, or did you want to start doing a bracket?
Let's take a look at the bracket because the first 4 will have already been played by the time this airs.
Okay, so let's do the one that's the easiest for me. Okay, so the East bracket. My favorite. Here we go. Half of the thing emotion, half of it analytics. Right. So this is an emotional thing, but at the same time, they're really good. Number 1 seed Michigan. My boys in blue. As I look down here, I think that I think St. Bonnie's going to upset LSU. Not really a big upset. It's 8-9, and I think that as we look at this 12-5, Colorado, this is their highest ranking in the tournament in school history.
Yeah.
So that, they're really good, but it also comes with a little bit of extra weight. You know what I mean? Kind of like when you come into that kind of record-setting thing, and there you are, a 12-5. And this is Georgetown, a team with a lot of rich history. You got Patrick Ewing. He's been through a few battles. You got this team that just got in, I think they're like 13-12, or something like that. But again, the type of teams that these guys are playing year in and year out, you know what I mean? You still look at a 50-minute mark or a 500 mark, and they're, they could be that 12 that upsets the 5 that's been going on, for over a decade. Exactly. And then Michigan State, I think that they're going to beat UCLA. I think the strength of their conference, is kind of like what I weighed in there. And then they're going to meet up against Texas, who should be able to handle Abilene Christian. I got UConn, number 7. There's always a weird thing with the 7 versus 10. A lot of times the 10 does upset the 7, and I do have some of those picked. But then that finishes off with Alabama.
Perfect. Let's do this. Ones. Let's head into the break. When we come back, we will talk more about a couple specific games, what your bets are, and we'll close it out so that way we can kick off March Madness. Folks, stay tuned. We will be right back.
Dear John, I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is serious, and I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to when you checked on me? I don't want to leave, but remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart and don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range today. For help keeping yours at a healthy range, text PRESSURE to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take 1.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard, so you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman!
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show, and we're smack dab in the middle of the G-Man's matchups, where we are talking about the NCAA March Madness tournament. I got a little soundbite for that. So before the break, we talked about how betting works, how you make your picks, run down some of the matchups. In this segment, what I'd like to do is pick out a couple specific first-round games and see how you match those up, where you put the line, and how you put your bets.
Okay. Well, as I mentioned, the first thing that I when I get my bracket, the first thing that I circle is the 12s versus the 5s, right? That's the first thing. So each one of those brackets in the West, you have the Santa Barbara's. Those are Gauchos or the Anteaters? Irvine. No, I think it's the Gauchos, right? Santa Barbara Gauchos.
Yeah, Irvine is the Anteaters.
They are the Anteaters?
Irvine is.
Oh, Irvine, yeah. And so they're playing Creighton. And Creighton, you look at that, it's 20-8. Okay, but I've gotten information that they've really the last few games they've just stumbled, and they're not the same team. You know what I mean? That the record would indicate. And UC Santa Barbara comes in 22-4. So I'm not saying that I'm not saying they're gonna beat Creighton, although I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm going to take the points. And where are they? Points on that is 7 points. So I'm taking the points, and that also, for a 12 versus 5, you know what I mean? That's 7 points. Look at that. I mean, that's not really that many points. And so it just goes to show you that the people that are making those numbers are giving those guys respect. So that's definitely one. The other 12 versus 5, we already talked about that, with Georgetown. It's only 5 points that they are favored, that Colorado is favored. Again, I think that Georgetown has a really good chance of winning this game. I'll probably have a little money line bet on that. The other 12-5 and 12 and 5 in the South. Now, here's the thing. Out of all the 5s, I think that this one, has the biggest chance of actually happening, even though I just covered those first two, and that's Winthrop against Villanova. I've watched Villanova this year. They are not the same Villanova that has been winning national championships, say for the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, they've just been number 1, top 10 and stuff like that. They're not the same team. Winthrop is 23-1. They are not going to be intimidated by these guys. And that is actually out of all the 12 versus 5s, that is the top pick. I actually have them making it to the Sweet 16. And beating Wisconsin beating Purdue, to get to Baylor, and then faltering against Baylor. And then the last 12-5 is Oregon State versus Tennessee. Tennessee's a really good team that has been playing well. I don't feel comfortable saying that Oregon State is going to beat them. But again, I'll probably be waiting for a number to bang on the in play with Oregon State, just because of that 12 versus 5 thing. And so those are right off the top, you know what I mean? The 4 bets that I eye when the bracket comes out.
Okay. Now, where do you look at it when it's 1 versus 16? You've got that huge disparity between, the number 1 seed and the last seed. Do you always give it to the number 1, or do you see maybe a last seed stepping up a little bit?
Yeah, most of the time the number ones do. They come out and they blow the guys away. Most of the time, not always. There was fine. I can't. Virginia, I think a few years ago, was the first number one seed that lost to a number 16 seed.
Right. Yeah.
It finally happened. I felt sorry, for those guys actually. Yeah. That was quite a blow. But most of the time, yeah, they get banged. You know what I mean? The number one seeds, they're ready to go out there and and kill them. For the most part, because if you get to that lead, from a coach standpoint, you get to rest your players, and stuff like that. And again, you just don't want to take any chance, of somebody coming in and thinking that they have a chance with you. So they come out, full throttle and normally tank these guys.
Now, in this first round, is there a matchup that you're really excited to watch just as a spectator? For all betting aside, you're just really excited about these two teams matching up. You think it's going to be a good game down to the wire. Anything that pops out for you?
Man, you're really putting a monkey wrench, because I am always with this thing coming out. It's totally an evaluation, Actually, there is one right there. So number 8 against a number 9, North Carolina against Wisconsin.
Okay.
That I'm not a Tar Heels fan, but of course I respect, Roy Williams. I mean, what he's done. I mean, he's on the Mount Rushmore of college coaches, for sure. And again, I mean, a similar record right there. North Carolina last year was like atrocious, but you can see their improvement this year. And Wisconsin, again, coming out of that Big Ten, that is just a massive gauntlet, that each one of the teams, have gone through. And, I just think that I think North Carolina is like favored by 2 points or something like that. 1 point. Yeah. So again, it's so close. But I think the strength of the Big Ten Conference and the teams that Wisconsin has had to play this year in conference play is actually going to help propel them, past those guys. And they're a little bit, it seems like they're a little bit scrappier. North Carolina and, the guys in the ACC, they're just such amazing athletes, top to bottom. And I think they rely, on that athleticism a little bit too much, and they take some shots and try some things that they shouldn't try. And then a team like Wisconsin, they're a little bit more disciplined, a little bit more scrappy. And I think that in the end is probably what's going to help them get past North Carolina.
Definitely. Yeah, that should be a fun one to watch. And then finally, you always hear about the Cinderella story. There's one team that could come out of nowhere to win it all. If you had to pick one team that could potentially be that Cinderella story to win it all, who would you pick?
Man, I tell you what, I mean, Cinderella only dances so long in this tournament, to tell you the truth. I mean, I don't think that there's been any team that has been higher than like a number 8 seed or something like that to win the tournament. I mean, we're talking about like maybe back in the days of like Western Kentucky when they were like the first all black, team to play in the tournament or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's something that you can count on, especially once you get to the Final Four, right. So, my Cinderella criteria, would probably be somebody that, again, like in the first round to get to the Sweet 16, the Cinderellas change. They change tiaras. They hand it off. So that being said, I think if I gauged the top 4, admittedly, I don't think that I think this year there's going to be 3 1s and a number 2 that get to the Final Four. So I would be disingenuous. You know what I mean? If I kind of came up, but as I look at the Final 16, a team that I think may surprise people. Syracuse.
Interesting. Okay.
Right. I mean, you got those guys again have played, much better than the record indicates, 16-9. So that record would reflect, the Cinderella tiara and 16-9. And you got, Boeheim, as the coach, he's been through a few dances and, that zone defense, that they play, that they're famous for, is no joke. So I actually have Syracuse meeting Illinois in the Final 8, so that would qualify, I guess, out of everybody, possibly even Florida State, because I have them upsetting Michigan to play Alabama and succumb to Alabama in the Final 8. So I would say those two teams, Syracuse or Florida State.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll have you on next week to sort of see how the weekend went, see how the next rounds look. With the last 30 seconds left here, G-Man, tell people how they can find you. And of course, you're doing a live show with Seedless Tendency this weekend, which is super exciting.
Yeah, we are fired up. Big weekend. The brothers in the March Madness, they've always said, "Are you playing this weekend?" And I was like, "No, man, we're watching basketball." But they finally talked me into it. So we're going to be in Victorian Square Saturday night. Show starts at 8:30. We go on at about 9:30. But Kyle Archuleta is opening up a set and a free show. So that's good. We don't do very many free shows, these days. So that's kind of nice. But anyway, yeah, come on down, have some drinks. Let's celebrate, things starting to open back up. Of course, everybody bring their mask, be safe. And, hopefully we see you guys there. And if not, then we will talk to you guys next week.
Perfect. G-Man, we always appreciate you coming on. Of course, you will be back next week. And if you guys want anything G-Man, of course, we'll post it up on our Facebook page as well. With that being said, we are headed into the final segment of the show. It is time for This Day in History. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
See you.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see, every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Well, we did it, folks. We made it to not only the last segment of the show, it's the last segment of the week before we head into the weekend. Now, if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Doozer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god?
No. I didn't have a soundbite today.
It's all right. It happens.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
I doomed us all, damn it, though.
You doomed us. But while you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think. And tell your friends. Because why, Tony?
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. And as we like to do at the final segment of each show, we like to drop a little knowledge on you. Hopefully make you laugh at the same time. It is time for This Day in History.
Crossing the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's This Day in History with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
Much appreciated, Siri. All right, let's go ahead and kick things off with this day in 1831. The very first U.S. bank robbery at the Citibank in New York is robbed of $245,000. I did a quick little conversion by today's money. That would have been $7.4 million.
Holy cow. They made out with quite a bit of coin there, huh?
That's one of those where it helps to be the first. You know, I often say I wouldn't want to be the first person to do a certain voyage or walk in space. But if you're the first bank robber, they have no way of knowing otherwise that bank robbery is actually a thing. Yeah, they made out pretty well, I think.
They did.
All right, moving on. This date in 1937, Pope Pius XI publishes the encyclical Divini Repentioris against communism. So apparently the church at that time had their thoughts about communism, just as World War II was getting started.
I thought you said Pope Papias, and then I thought of the band Ghost BC. I randomly just got distracted there, but when you said Pope.
I'm going to do something now that we don't do often. I'm actually going to go backwards in time a little bit. We like to move forward. But as I was scrolling down, I actually noticed this one, that this day in 1931, Nevada legalizes gambling. Obviously, our home state. And
Super state!
Is a huge draw, obviously, to why people come visit. And, we got some great casinos around here.
And that's where you get the Shriver from, Tony Shriver.
Yep.
Carson City, Nevada.
All right. Moving on, this day in 1942, Franklin D. Roosevelt orders men between 45 and 64 to register for non-military duty. Tony, we're not quite to that 45 age stage yet. I would be disqualified from military service anyway because of my medical conditions. But could you imagine being 63, 64 years old and being called to essentially serve, but not in active combat?
No, I wouldn't have liked that. Not in that age. This is something I would have been okay with in my early 30s when I went through the split. That wouldn't have been a bad deal. But 45 to 60, I would say no. You've kind of done your, earlier, sure, but later, nah.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll never have to see that. But
I hope not. I'm knocking on wood right now.
Let's move on. This day in 1943, in their third match, Jake LaMotta finally defeats Jimmy Reeves by knocking him out in the 6th round.
Finally, Jimmy, I knocked you the F out. It only took me 3 times to beat your ass in the 6th round, you jabroni.
And it's funny because they always show this picture of Jake LaMotta well into his probably 90s. Yeah. And obviously...
I'm Jake LaMotta and America, let's do lunch.
Good pull, Tone. Good pull. All right. Moving on this day in 1947, only because these are just fun names to say. Generalissimo Chiang Kai-shek conquers Jinan. Not saying I would be good at saying them. They're just fun to say.
Yeah. Generalissimo Chiang Kai-shek, he conquered Jinan. And then other news, what the hell did you just say?
Yeah. A lot of hard words to say, but still fun to say.
Definitely.
All right. This day in 1955, the 17th NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. We were just talking to G-Man about that. San Francisco beats LaSalle 77-63. Don's future Hall of Fame center, Bill Russell, is named Tournament Most Outstanding Player.
I'm glad they changed outstanding to valuable, right?
Yeah.
You go from the MVIP versus MOP. You're the MOP. No, you're the MVIP.
Hey, in Patrick Mahomes' case, he could be the MOP.
The MOP. The most outstanding player, Bill Russell.
Have you seen that mop on his head? All right. Let's keep rolling on.
Hey, just don't let this go easy, you know. Brittany likes it. We just had a baby. I just played in my second Super Bowl. Don't be hating on the map here, right? I'm Patrick Mahomes here.
Let's keep moving on. This day in 1958, Britain's first planetarium opens at Madame Tussauds in London. Were they doing wax creations at that time, and were they just as freaky as they are now?
Probably yes, and all I have to say is planetarium. Space is neat.
I like that. Oh, moving on this day in 1964. I like it. Shaken, not stirred. Shaken Connery.
Oh, shake it.
You can tell
Sean Connery, huh?
It's Sean Connery's first day of shooting on the James Bond film Goldfinger.
It would have been great if he could have done a cameo in Goldmember. I like gold. What about you, Sean Connery? I like it shaken, not stirred.
You would have been quite old at that point.
Yeah, would have been great.
All right, moving on.
Isn't that
weird? This day in 1981, the Emmys 8th Daytime Awards, where Susan Lucci loses for the second time. I think she lost, 13?
Oh, man, she lost. I think she finally won one down the line, but Susan Lucci played Erica Kane on All My Children. That was my mom's favorite soap opera, and actually, she liked Erica Kane. That's why I know so much about the Susan Lucci. Other than how much she lost, let's see. Susan Lucci, all time, was a who knows. We'll read the next one, and I'll get you the info.
All right. Well, same day in 1981. Probably bigger losers than Susan Lucci. 2 workers are killed in the Space Shuttle Columbia accident.
Ooh. Ouch.
Not losers, but they lost their lives.
So during her run on All My Children, she was nominated 21 times for Outstanding Lead Actress, and she only won once.
Oof.
One time. One. She's the one in 21.
All right, let's keep moving on. This day in 1985, Spin Magazine begins publishing. Did you pick up many of the Spin magazines, Tone?
No, I was not a big fan of them.
I was more a fan of like Hit Parader or
Metal Edge. Yeah.
Metal Edge, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't a Revolver. I got into Revolver later.
There you go.
Yeah. I was obviously more into the metal hard rock than Spin was more hip hop and urban life. So.
All right.
Not that I'm not against it. I just wasn't into it.
Exactly. Moving on, this day in 1987, American televangelist Jim Bakker resigns amid rape accusations by his secretary, Jessica Hahn.
Yeah, I didn't know much about that other than he was with Tammy Faye, right? That was their thing. I just remember seeing a Jessica Hahn Playboy when I was a kid, and she had big bazingas.
Yeah, and back when cancel culture, amid rape allegations, that's something to take a little more seriously than Pepe Le Pew.
Absolutely.
Bazinga.
But yeah, I just remember seeing that Playboy for some reason.
All right, let's move on. This day in 1991. This is something I had no idea happened, but NFL owners stripped Phoenix of the 1993 Super Bowl game due to Arizona not recognizing Martin Luther King Day. Do you have any idea that happened?
Had no idea, actually. I'm assuming at first I was thinking, well, how'd they take the game away from the Cardinals? They didn't make the Super Bowl. They were really a bad team back then. But it's the city of Phoenix that obviously they didn't get it.
They didn't get to host exactly.
Yeah.
All right. And then finally, in this day in history, we talked a little bit about it yesterday. This day in 1995, Michael Jordan rejoins the Chicago Bulls after 17 months of retirement. Immediately beats the Pacers because, well, he's Michael Jordan.
Yes. So I got that wrong. Yesterday, I thought he joined the Washington Wizards when he came back. I didn't realize this was the time he came back to the Bulls. And then obviously they went on to, he'd go play for two more years, and then winning the championship. Then he'd retire again, come back as a Washington Wizard.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of all his retirements. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take you guys out with some of today's holidays, where we like to talk about the things that we celebrate. So a lot to run down, so we'll get through them as quickly as possible. It is Certified Nurses Day. It is Clients Day. It is
Hello, Nurse.
Day. It is National Backyard Day. It is Red Nose Day. It is National Chocolate Caramel Day. Ooh, that sounds good. It is National Preschool Teachers Appreciation Day. It is World Sleep Day. And Tony, this one's for you. It is National Cock Day. I'm talking about the poultry.
You call me a cock? Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Folks, that does it for this week of shows. Now, just as a quick reminder, we will be running a best of on Monday. I'll be traveling back from Southern California, so we will
California.
Brand new show on Tuesday. Enjoy your weekend, folks. And in the meantime, have a great weekend.
Peace.